CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Provincial police have identified two bodies recovered from Lake Erie yesterday as a father and his young son. They were reportedly out canoeing but never came back to shore. With the latest on the OPP investigation, here's Jerry Dewan.
Emergency responders were called to the waters just west of Long Point around 4 Monday afternoon for a report of overdue boaters.
While emergency crews responded to the area, both individuals were located by a passing boater approximately 2 nautical miles from shore. The Canadian Coast Guard attended and recovered both individuals from the water.
A 53-year-old man and his 7-year-old son were pronounced dead a short time later.
Both were wearing life jackets at the time of the incident, and police are continuing to search for the boat they departed shore in.
Robert Kuznets owns Inner Bay Marina and Trailer Park near where the incident happened. He declined to go on camera out of respect for the family, but he warns that being in the water at this time of year brings a specific set of concerns.
Kuznets says his greatest concern for people on the lake at this time of year is the water temperature.
I did speak to the Canadian Coast Guard, and the water is anywhere between 7 to 10 degrees yesterday. So again, it really comes down to the fact that if you are going to venture out in the water, make sure that you do have warm clothing. Make sure you have a plan in place. More importantly, though, make sure you let somebody know when you're coming back.
The other concern is that emergency services geared towards boaters don't go into full effect until the May long weekend. Sanchuk says in smaller communities, everyone feels the loss, especially when a child is involved.
I was speaking to some of the first responders, one of the paramedics last night and early this morning, and they know who this young boy is. And again, it affects everyone.
OPP are now searching for the canoe the victims were in and are asking boaters and residents to call if they spot the vessel. Near Long Point, Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
London police are expressing frustration over after-hours clubs operating without oversight and often circumventing liquor laws. As Brian Bicknell reports, a shooting happened at one of those establishments last weekend, sending one man to hospital with serious injuries.
This was the scene Sunday morning as police cordoned off a Richmond Row Plaza. The center of their investigation, this after-hours club where a man had been shot multiple times. Barry Huggins runs Pita Pit, just a couple doors down in the same plaza.
When I came in Sunday morning, obviously everything was taped off, and it's not a good look for customers coming into the store.
Police say shortly after 6 Sunday morning, an adult male showed up in hospital with gunshot wounds. Police were called and officers determined an altercation involving multiple people took place inside an after-hours club. A male victim was assaulted, and police say when staff attempted to intervene, multiple gunshots were fired. The victim suffered serious but non-life-threatening injuries. So what exactly is an after-hours club? In a statement, police said they operate outside regulated hours and oversight, often to circumvent or contravene liquor licensing, municipal bylaws, or other legislation, increasing the risk of violence and unsafe conditions for patrons and the surrounding community.
Requires operating terms and agreements such as how long alcohol can be served for, and the parameters under which a license can be obtained. It's meant to ensure public safety, safe consumption, and safety to the community and the patrons of those establishments.
Detective Inspector Travis says there have been police interactions at this location in the past. One area business owner who didn't want his identity revealed told us that there is often trouble, especially on weekends, with violence spilling out onto the street from area clubs.
The shooting around this area is pretty common. We have experienced so many complaints from our customer, from our different police. They come inside the restaurant, they're asking for the footages and everything all the time, and that's very common.
No arrests have been made and no weapon recovered. Anyone with information about the after-hours club shooting is asked to contact police.
Information in the form of dash cam footage, video surveillance footage, businesses or other establishments, if they can support or help the investigation, to please contact us.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Jury members at the coroner's inquest looking into the London police shooting death of a Sarnia man have returned with 10 recommendations meant to prevent future similar incidents. 29-year-old Justin Barassa was walking along Richmond Row in downtown London in October 2021 when officers mistook him for a suspect involved in a break-and-enter. Barrasso was fatally shot during an altercation with the officers. They were trying to handcuff him, but he ended up placing one of them in a chokehold. The jury's recommendations include developing de-escalation and conflict prevention techniques, use of force measures, and enhanced training programs for safe handcuffing. The officers involved were cleared by the province's Special Investigations Unit of any wrongdoing. The provincial government has announced a date for an inquest looking into the circumstances surrounding a man's death while he was transferred from the Elgin Middlesex Detention Centre. 29-year-old Drew Pearson had been charged with arson back in December 2018, connected to a house fire on St. Andrew Street. Officials say the inquest will take place May 25th, expected to hear from 10 witnesses over 8 days. Provincial law mandates an inquest when someone dies while in police custody. City Council rejected a proposal to build a long-term care home in West London tonight after pressure from unhappy neighbors.
It's going up to 4 stories. It was approved already for 3. This is just pushing it too far.
I am very concerned that we are picking and choosing our applications. I want to support our policies.
Neighbors voiced opposition to a 4-story long-term care home and apartment building for spouses on Bluegrass Drive. City Hall's planning department had recommended approval, but a majority of councillors voted against the developer's application. Mayor Josh Morgan was asked whether council is more easily swayed by public opposition during an election year.
What I think there will happen during an election time is the level of public engagement tends to go up, but I certainly think public engagement has always been part of the decision-making on planning files.
After committing to more education and enforcement, London City councillors have extended permission for e-scooters on roads and pathways.
It seems somewhat of a toy, but we're talking about a motorized vehicle. We're talking about real-life injuries, real-life chances of, God forbid, death.
We do not respond to roadway safety concerns by banning cars or asking the province to remove them. We, in fact, improve on infrastructure, education, and enforcement, and I think we need the same balanced approach.
London will continue participating in the province's pilot project. New enforcement could see parents of riders under 16 or under 18 without a helmet receive a $100 fine. Ontario's big city mayors and the Ontario Municipalities Association will also be asked to lobby the provincial government for more e-scooter regulations.
I don't think is the appropriate way of going about this. I think it's on the province to actually come forward with rules and regs to actually give people something to follow and not just strip it away from them.
Researchers with Western's Northern Tornadoes Project have confirmed 2 separate weather events from last weekend. They say there was a microburst at 4 p.m. on Saturday in the Lucan area, followed shortly after by a tornado further east. Both events have been classified as EF0 with estimated wind speeds reaching 130 and 110 kilometers an hour, respectively. Stratford City councillors are pushing back on the provincial government's strong mayor legislation, filing a legal challenge. With more on their concerns and what they hope this court battle accomplishes, here's Colton Weens.
I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed to any? That's unanimous and carried.
It was May 27th of last year when Stratford City Council unanimously signaled that it wanted to file a charter challenge against Ontario's strong mayor law.
I do see risks in having specifically the CAO role and the CLT roles being politically influenced by having one person responsible for implementing or removing.
And now, almost a year later, the city has filed a legal challenge against the provincial legislation, which has been imposed on more than 200 municipalities.
Our council, right from the start, has had large concerns about this, and we've been working quietly for the last year, including meetings with representatives from the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, and we've unfortunately had no real progress in getting any changes implemented.
In an email to CTV News, the spokesperson for the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing says mayors understand their communities best, and our government's strong mayor framework gave municipalities the tools they need to move faster on critical infrastructure such as housing and economic development. The province would not comment further on Stratford's challenge as it is before the courts.
This was imposed on Stratford with no consultation, no forewarning, and it was just, here you go, deal with it.
Hunter says the current law eliminates majority rule from the council chamber and raises constitutional questions about effective representation on council.
So by removing that from our council chamber, that is in fact undemocratic in our opinion.
The city's legal challenge seeks to have the courts declare the law as having no force and effect. Hunter says Stratford's current mayor has delegated as much authority as he's able, and their concern isn't about him, but more about the future.
Certain municipalities have had challenges. I'm aware of one municipality where the mayor vetoed council's decision, and that led to less housing than would have been the case had council had the majority ruled.
Colton Ween, CTV News.
Several Midwestern Ontario communities are reporting substantial expenditures from this winter because of the heavy snow. As Scott Miller reports, millions more was spent compared to what was budgeted.
It was a winter to remember across Midwestern Ontario, with tons of road closures, school bus cancellations, and, of course, snowstorms.
This past winter, we found that it was almost relentless, one storm after another. And obviously a huge shout out to our staff who worked extensively, long shifts, and, had very little time off.
All that extra time took a toll on Huron County's winter maintenance budget that saw $5.5 million spent on labor and materials to keep the roads clear, much higher than the $4.1 budgeted.
It reflects the crazy amount of snow we got this year.
Khalid says Huron County exceeded their budgets in everything from county winter maintenance, materials like salt and sand, and external winter maintenance contracts. In neighboring Bruce County, nearly $4.1 million was spent to move 460 centimeters of snow off of Bruce County's roads, higher than budgeted, but much more than the nearly $3 million spent in the winter of 2024, when the 5-year average of about 350 centimeters of snow fell.
So we're 110 centimeters more snow than average last year. So it's no great surprise that we would have spent a little bit more than we expected.
Grey County was nearly $2 million over its winter maintenance budget, and Owen Sound nearly $1 million over its snow clearing budget. So where does that money come from? Winter maintenance reserves, which every county and municipality has. Money not spent during mild winters is set aside to help cover for winters like this past one.
Fingers crossed. Let's hope that next year is easier than the last couple of years. You're right. It's been a tough couple of winters. Everybody knows it. And but we'll be ready one way or the other. We'll be certainly building our budgets based on what we've experienced in the last few years. Those averages that I gave you will be going up because we've had more snowfall in the last couple of years.
Snowplow drivers will be hoping for a milder winter as well. In Huron County, it took 40% more labor hours to keep the roads clear than the prior winter, which not only upped the cost, but the time spent to do the job.
This past winter has definitely taken a toll on both the budget and how much effort we had to put in.
In Midwestern Ontario, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Ontario's Auditor General released 4 reports this morning covering a wide range of topics. The documents outline issues with truck licensing as well as government use of artificial intelligence. With more, here's Siobhan Morris.
They're powerful machines rumbling down Ontario's roads and highways. But the Auditor General's raising new questions about the training some truck drivers are getting. Her office hired undercover students to sign up, mostly at career colleges. In 2 cases,
students were not taught key elements such as left turns at major intersections, reverse parking, and emergency stopping.
Students were told to sign off on training they'd never done. The Premier expects training schools to maintain standards.
And if that's not happening, we get wind of it, we will shut them down.
But the auditor found a quarter of schools hosting basic training programs had never been inspected at all. Others were still handing out certificates even after being barred from doing so.
We have been overhauling this over the past 2 years and continue to do whatever we can and to ensure that we have the highest standards.
Fraud in trucker licensing and testing have been well documented for years.
The government's not doing what they need to do to protect you, then you should be mad.
The auditor spotlighting a gap in the money going to special education. Yes, it's gone up with inflation, but she notes schools are also seeing more children with more complex needs.
The funding is not keeping up with the growth, and that the school boards themselves are spending upwards of $200 million more on special ed than what they're receiving.
The Minister of Education feels the focus shouldn't be on a dollar figure, but
outcome. On the surface, would more EAs make sense? Perhaps, but only if you look at the actual mix. What does that student require?
Calandra admits the ministry hasn't done a good job of tracking outcomes or setting standards for when a child with special needs is excluded from a classroom.
This report very clearly tells him what we have been saying, what parents have been saying, what educators have been saying. They are failing our children, and they are putting them in harm's way.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Local astronaut Jeremy Hansen and his Artemis II crewmates were welcomed to Capitol Hill today.
I can speak on behalf of Canadians to say this is something that we as Canadians admire in you in America, and that you set these extraordinary goals and you leave space for others like Canada to come along and contribute in a meaningful way. And by doing those things, you garner immense respect around the world, but you lift up others to come along with you. Congratulations.
Each of the astronauts received a copy of a resolution passed unanimously by the U.S. Senate, which thanks the crew for their leadership. The astronauts conducted the first crewed lunar flyby in 50 years last month, venturing farther into space than anyone before them. Later on CTV News, welcoming the world, London's plans to boost tourism during the FIFA World Cup. Canada's main stock index reversed course today as gains in energy stocks offset losses in tech. The TSX climbed 152 points. In New York, the Dow added 56. The Nasdaq fell 186. The Canadian dollar lost almost a quarter cent on commodity markets. Gold dropped $42 an ounce. Oil gained more than $4 a barrel. Several Canadian cities are expected to launch bids for a new multinational financial institution dedicated to military investments. Judy Trin has more on the contenders and how this defense bank will work.
Global finance and advanced innovation.
Toronto's bid to host the new Defense, Security and Resilience Bank was launched with a glitzy video and a full-court press.
We have Team Ontario, united to support Toronto.
The new defense bank could involve 40 countries. It could hold an estimated $135 billion U.S. in assets and employ 3,500 people. Other than Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Ottawa are competing for the headquarters. Analysts say the winning city needs to have more than just financial expertise.
Good cultural sensibility. I think it needs to be able to communicate with different players in different countries.
Toronto is one of the most diverse cities on earth. People from every corner of the world come here.
The majority of the bank's member nations will be in Europe. Connections, Montreal's mayor says the city has.
The economics and the diplomacy. So we're the only city that can give both. The economic diplomacy that this bank needs.
But politics are at play. Depending on which party wins the Quebec election in the fall, there could be another referendum on Quebec's separation.
We're not going to engage in campaigns of fear, for starters. We have the strengths and the maturity to receive international organizations, bottom line.
The goal of the Defense Bank is to provide lower interest loans to smaller companies so they can develop technology and expand faster. Ottawa has dozens of innovative companies, but the capital's airport doesn't have many international flights. Not a problem with Vancouver, which could be a prime location to attract Asian nations to join.
We're the gateway to the Pacific. We actually are in the perfect time zone to bridge those gaps.
I think the headline for everybody that they need to know is that Canada will lead the world in defense finance.
The federal government has yet to lay out its criteria, nor has it set a deadline. But regardless of what city is selected, Canada is the big winner. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening. We've had some showers and thunderstorms moving through southern Ontario. The risk for thunderstorms will continue overnight in advance of a cold front. Now, the temperature heading into tomorrow morning on the milder side from 11 to 13 degrees with winds out of the southeast. But the winds will quickly be shifting to the northwest with the passage of a cold front. Thank you so much, Shelley. This is a cute photo of Buddy. We are expecting most of the rain to push through overnight. So waking up tomorrow morning to overcast conditions and just a slight chance for showers. Coming up, I'll take you through your holiday weekend forecast. I'll see you on the other side of the break.
Welcome back on the desk with Julie now, and we've seen some showers make their way into our region. I know at 6 o'clock you're warning about the potential for getting woken up by a little thunder tonight as well.
Yeah, some storms ramping up overnight in advance of a cold front coming in, so we get that clash of warm and cooler air. Now, temperatures today warmed up to 15, so a bit milder than it was yesterday after a very frosty start this morning. We did have frost in parts of the region with temperatures holding near zero, but we recovered quite nicely. We'll stay below normal as we head into the extended forecast. We do have this weather system that's coming in tonight with that rainfall and thunderstorms through the overnight. So this is still at 4 a.m. Carlyle. So that band of storms that's approaching out ahead of that front will be pushing through with the risk of about 10 to 15 millimeters of rain. So there's some heavy rainfall associated out ahead of this system. So that warm front came in earlier. That brought the showers to southern Ontario. Now the cold front will be coming through as we head into Wednesday morning, and out ahead of that front will be the thunderstorms. You can see we have had a few thunderstorms in the region tonight, and the potential will continue overnight. So if you get woken up by a storm, that's definitely a possibility. As we head into your Wednesday, overcast conditions expected, just a slight chance for showers. Probability on the lower end. You can see southern Ontario. We do have a few spotty showers. That keeps us at a very low chance at about 40% as we head into Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. So you can see how sparse the coverage is, not really that significant in terms of an all-day rain. That will not be the case for your Wednesday, but just keep your umbrella handy. As we head into Thursday, still on the cool side, but Friday, things shift. We are going to see a major pattern shift in the upper atmosphere. We will have warm temperatures. We will be seeing the long weekend arrive with some nice conditions. So kicking it off in style. I know many people use this weekend as their planting guideline. Overnight, we'll dip down between about 10 and 8 degrees across most of the region. A couple cooler spots towards Mount Forest and KW. Those thunderstorms could bring about 10 to 15 millimeters of rain overnight. This forecast model reading close to 10 millimeters in London, but near 20 towards the Chatham area. Wind shift northwest tomorrow once again. Behind the cold front, that will keep us cool over the next couple of days. The forecast high just 14. We'll hold at 14. Heading into Thursday in cloudy. A mix of sun and cloud on Friday. 20. 25 on Saturday, potential for 23 on Sunday. Now, there's lots of questions. Unfortunately, I wish I could lock this forecast in for you. I'm not doing that yet because I still have many questions about the extended forecast. So there is a slight chance for showers over the weekend. I'm going to try and nail that down for you in the coming days. But at this point, I'm not locking in a dry forecast. Still a slight probability over the weekend with a risk of showers on Monday. But daytime highs expected to climb significantly in terms of above normal. So we're going to swing the other direction after some cool days to kick off May. We are going to have the long weekend arrive with some warmth and summer-like conditions. Expecting a mix of sun and cloud Friday. Friday's going to be a good day, 19 to 20 degrees in the area. What a wonderful way to start your long weekend. Saturday, Sunday into Monday, a mix of sun and cloud. Chance for showers, although the probability is low. I will keep you posted if anything changes. But as we edge closer to the long weekend, conditions are looking much warmer, and we will get a little bit of sunshine through the weekend. Carlyle, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. We are 1 month away from Canada's opening match at the FIFA World Cup, and locally, tourism officials are trying to capitalize on the expected surge in international visitors. With more on their campaign, here's Rita Ismail.
The countdown to the FIFA World Cup is officially on, and in London, tourism officials are hoping the global event becomes a major opportunity for the local economy.
We recently just launched our Match Made in London campaign, where we're marketing London as a base camp for those attending games in Toronto.
Even though London is not a host city, officials say its location, just 2 hours from Toronto, makes it an attractive option for soccer fans looking for more affordable accommodations and experiences outside of the busy core. New research from Destination Ontario suggests the strategy could pay off. A recent study found 9 in 10 travelers planning a FIFA World Cup trip to Ontario say they're likely to explore destinations beyond the host city during their visit. The same research found visitors are also looking for experiences beyond soccer, including food, nightlife, sightseeing, and cultural attractions.
We have partnerships with Via Rail to take advantage of that travel opportunities, discounted rates at hotels and different options to, if you've never been to Canada, to explore some of our city and learn about the country a little bit. But also there's some events to attend. We're hosting the Canada Celebrates Tour on Saturday, July 4th, so you can really still catch that FIFA soccer fever while you're here in London, as well as all the other viewing parties and events that'll pop up around the city.
Officials say the goal is not only to boost tourism spending during the World Cup, but to leave international visitors with a lasting impression of the Forest City. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
Finally tonight, a new plaque unveiled this week recognizing the home of cricket in London. It's a sport with nearly 2 centuries of history in this city, and as Brent Lale reports, its popularity may now be growing faster than ever.
For 170 years, the sport of cricket has been played in the Forest City.
When First International played in Canada in 1844, Southern Ontario were part of it. Then Londoners came together, established a club in 1856.
To recognize the history of the sport in London, the Historic Site Committee of the London Public Library Board unveiled its 78th plaque.
It really needs to be a person, place, group event that is significant to the history of London, and we try very hard to make sure that the new plaques as we develop them are inclusive in the stories that we are telling. It's really a great way to show the history of London from this early sport that was brought here by settlers, and it's been kept up and the tradition has been maintained for centuries now.
Debbie Chappell comes from a history of cricketers.
From my father talking and telling, he came here, he met a few guys, they realized there was no cricket club in London, and they started the cricket club. They built a little shack down on Fanshawe Park, and then they got larger.
The sport has seen a resurgence, and in 2022, a third cricket grounds was added to join North London and Silverwoods.
Obviously, we need more grounds because 10 years ago, we had only 1 pitch. Now we have 3 pitches, but also the number of players in London, they're playing more than 2,000 players playing leather ball and softball. So we need more resources from the City of London.
The Historic Sites Committee has another item on their agenda. Next month, a new sign will be erected to mark the original Wonderland Gardens. Brent Lale, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.